Okay, we're live. So, hello everybody. Hello, Scuba Pete. Welcome to the Universal Toy Collector and Scuba Pete live stream, the first one of the year. So, how are you, sir?
I am doing great. I'm excited to hang out this Sunday.
Awesome.
Been looking forward to it.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, definitely. It's been a while. We've not really spoken properly, have we? Really, I guess.
For the holidays, always
the holiday period and stuff like that. Yeah.
Get crazy and yep.
So, so what have we got going on this live stream tonight? What we're going to be discussing?
We have a special guest with us.
Yep. Introduce me in a
Dave.C. We've got pickups. We've got a little talk about the Sky Striker, which just got delivered like an hour ago to my house. So I've ripped into that.
That's not quite what we're going to be doing. No,
whatever.
We're not going down that again. We're not doing that again.
Nice try.
Wow, that was quality. Okay, so then let's get our guest on then, Dave.C. Hello, sir.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How you doing, Dave?
Excellent.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really appreciate being invited on. It's awesome.
No worries. We've got Boba Hicks in the channel, in the chat. Hello, sir. All good. So, yeah, you all good, Dave? Good Christmas? I mean, it's a while ago now, isn't it, Christmas?
Yeah. Got quite a few things. Me and Shane were excited that Santa brought us a lot of Joe stuff. So,
awesome stuff.
Good year.
Awesome. So, we are actually going to be talking about G.I. Joe.
Heck yeah. What did the fat man bring you in the sleigh?
He got us the 1990 Avalanche, which is G.I. Joe's snow vehicle that I didn't really know about growing up because obviously I'm more like an 80s guy like you guys. So I kind of missed out on the 90s stuff because I was already into chicks and stuff. But
funny how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, so he brought us that one. And I'm hey, Mark. How you doing, man?
What's up, Trenton?
Yeah, I'm missing the pilot for it, the driver, the cold front guy. So I'm looking at getting him coming up in the future. Hopefully a complete one instead of an incomplete one.
Yep.
Okay, is he hard to come by?
Yeah. I don't think too bad. Hey, Pete, he's probably like maybe like $30-40 on eBay or something complete.
Yep.
Yeah, not too
bad. No worries,
bad.
Chris. How you doing, friend? All good?
And then what else?
Chris.
He got us. So, hey, Chris, how you doing, man? He got us a Warthog, the 88.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. And yeah, another Rolling Thunder. We always kind of wanted to have two
for your epic battles.
Yeah, maybe with all this crap with Russia going on, me and Shane were like, you know what? You're not scaring us. We're gonna get two nuke Rolling Thunders.
Yeah, we have the nukes.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome. What I wanted to say to you guys is, and what I wanted to bring up is that back in the 80s, when G.I. Joe was probably at its, peak, you being from the US and Canada, over in the UK, we didn't get half the stuff that you got. I mean, because obviously there was no internet back in those days. So we weren't aware that there was a USS Flag. We weren't aware that there was a Defiant. And I certainly wasn't aware that there was more than one type of Sky Striker. So, hello, hang on, evening.
Hey, Daddy.
How you doing? Oh, Miss Detty, hello. Yeah, so, yeah, just tell us a bit about the different Sky Strikers, because you had the different decals that come with the HasLab one. And now I wasn't too sure about those different Sky Strikers. So was it like Night Force or...
Yeah, later in the line, you had a Night Force Sky Striker. Dave can tell you the exact year that happened.
Yeah, 1989. Yeah.
Okay. So again, see, that wasn't released in the UK that I'm aware of. If it was, and I wasn't aware of it. But and then you had the Cobra decals as well. So was there one for Cobra as well, a Sky Striker?
No, that's
just a new thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because like I say, I mean, it's weird that like a lot of stuff that you guys got, we didn't get over in the UK. So I mean, I don't even think we got Rolling Thunder. So
yeah, they really started to, those, what was it, early 90s, do those sub-team crossovers where like the Rattler is now Tiger Force Rattler. You know, you started having those redecos.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, I or the
Yeah.
what was it, Sky Patrol with the
Sky
chrome.
Patrol, early 90s. I like the Airborne for that one.
Yeah.
Sky Patrol. I guess at first it was Tiger Force, right? Like 1988 would have been Tiger Force with the tiger striping, kicked it off. And then we had the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, which was awesome camouflage, that blue and the the blue and the green and the black.
See, I remember Tiger
right
Force.
there. I was going to get him for Christmas, and I remember I texted Pete and he got it, and that's a really special one because the thumbs always break on that guy.
Yeah, super fragile.
Yeah.
See, I remember Tiger Force and the Marauders, but again, I wasn't. You know, it's just we had that, but
yeah. Then the Night Force came.
Really
Night Force came in 89 and then 90, I think, and they were wild because they obviously had the night colors.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any of those either because they're, I was already a teenager, but like a mid teenager. And but yeah, looking back at those, like the Shockwave is awesome. And all the guys, they have that gray tone and they're very military like.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw you guys with your Sky Strikers, like when Stu had his show the other day and saw that they had a Night Force ripcord, I thought that was insane and totally cool because they're catering to everybody. Like they're not just catering to the early 80s show guys. They're going for the late 80s, early 90s who had the Night Force too. So yeah, that's kick ass for sure. Yeah.
So I'm assuming then with that ripcord, he was actually part of Night Force back in when they first released back in the 80s.
No, he wasn't one of the figures that they did. He wasn't one of the ones included. Yeah. So that's kind of a special thing that you have there, and to have him in the packaging is going to be quite a rarity, I think. So that's one to hold on to for sure in the package, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of like having the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander now on card.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of trippy.
Oh man, that is so cool. I was going to get it as soon as they released that information. I was going to get it alone just for the guys, like for the figures, because like you guys already have the Sky Striker, and a lot of other collectors. We were like, well, we already have a Sky Striker, but when they said that they were going to come out with those 7 other guys, that's great. So
definitely.
The ground crew.
Oh man, he's so cool.
He is wicked. Awesome. That is like,
oh man.
Now that I have him in hand, he's just badass.
Oh man, was Ramp Rat's his name? Ramp Rat?
Yeah, Ramp Rat, and he comes with a little mortar
name. Oh yeah.
And then
he looks like something from the comic, like something like a serious military, like somebody on an aircraft carrier. That's deadly. Yeah.
Well, they actually, because I think it missed out on the final stretch goal, didn't it? It got backed, but I think it just fell short of the final stretch goal, and the final stretch goal would have been 2. I think it was GI Joe Ground Crew figures. So you could have had 9 figures all in all. I mean, what a fantastic deal that is. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and it is an absolute quality piece. I mean, the feel of it, it feels not so like weighty, but it feels like a really good quality plastic that it's made from and stuff like that. And it's just absolutely amazing. It really is.
I'm excited to have that vintage box feel, because I don't own a vintage Sky Striker box. I've seen them for sale. There's one down at the toy mall now that they want like $100 for it, and I'm like, nope. I'm just waiting for my HasLab to deliver, which was part of what factored in there, because a lot of people were like, oh, you can get a Sky Striker for way cheaper than that. And I'm like, I won't argue with you on the actual jet itself, but I was like, I want that box art.
Yeah, like the box alone is like $200 or $300, like the original box. Yeah. So,
and then to get the figures, it's just kind of like bonus.
Oh, yeah. It is a Hector Greedo art. It's the exact art, really. So I mean,
as soon as I opened it up and I saw the actual Sky Striker itself, the artwork, I was just like, wow, this is just phenomenal. And you used to be able, when you go into the shops and you just used to see hours of it, whether it would be any GI Joe sort of stuff, the artwork, the boxes and stuff like that, in the figures. That was just a real nostalgia tug. That was, I mean, it was brilliant. And when you get it out, you will notice that there are some subtle differences. I didn't really sort of like point them all out. It was just like, oh wow, look at this, and I was like, blah blah blah. But yeah, there's some subtle differences. I mean, the vents at the front, where the air intakes on the wings underneath the wings, you've got like little engine bits inside of those and stuff like that. So it's all pretty cool.
Yeah, got a little more detail.
Yeah,
I was looking at your review. I was staring at your review, like looking at every little thing. I was like pausing the video. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, I was doing that
that's
too.
different. Yeah,
Rewind.
that's cool, eh?
Left 4 Dead Fett. How you doing, sir? Thank you for
What's up,
joining us.
Fett? Rob.
Awesome.
Humble.
The box is, yeah, it is. It is. I mean, if I had the room, I'd display the box as well. But I mean, I was tempted to put the like some of the decals on, but then I looked at it and it's already got like some on there anyway.
Mhm.
And I thought,
Yeah,
you know what? I don't know if I want to ruin those sheets. I've just, just frame them and just keep them framed. And
I'm excited because my brain was, as I was drifting off to sleep last night, knowing that I had gotten the FedEx notification that it will be delivered Sunday, and my mind's kind of swirling, thinking about all those decals. Yeah, right. So I'm having trouble going to sleep.
Yeah.
It suddenly hit me. I'm like, those extra decal sheets. I know, like Stu, you said you're probably going to get those framed as art.
yeah,
and I'm like, oh man, more custom jets,
especially the Cobra ones.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
stolen Cobra jet. Yeah.
But I'm like, I've got a mostly complete. Can't talk today. Sky Striker. But I'm like, now my mind's swirling. Like, do I want to paint that Cobra blue and I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps thinking about it. I don't do a lot of custom stuff, but just letting your mind, wander, and that's all part of the fun now that we're, grown old men.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With our toys.
I mean, I'm now into thinking, do I get myself a G.I. Joe version of the Sky Striker? So I've got the Action Force one. I've got the new HasLab one. Do I go back and get the retro, the original 80s G.I. Joe Sky Striker and have all the decals on that? And
I don't think they're too much now, AP. You could probably get one complete for like maybe 150, 160.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so they're not too bad.
It's got like a good canopy, and the springs work in the
and they're
landing gear.
White. Yeah,
and it actually still looks white, not yellow.
Yeah. What do you think of the? Oh, Keith Knight. Hello, sir. All right, Keith.
Greetings.
What do you guys think of the Scarlet in the flight suit? I mean, I think that's pretty. I quite like that. I like that.
I am.
Hang on a minute. Let's get you up full screen there.
Oh, you're gonna make big. I am digging it.
Yeah.
This was.
I quite like it.
As soon as they showed that, I'm like, okay.
I like it because it pretty much looks like Ace's suit from '83, except it's a tinge blue, and then of course it's her, and anything she does kicks ass.
Yep.
Except for the new classified, like you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Don't go there with that.
But I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's got a great feel to it. It really made me think back on that episode, where she comes screaming down the tarmac, and Duke's like, "Who is that?" And she lands like, "Hello, boys."
Yeah, Master Voice Part 1.
Yeah, it's so good.
I mean, as much as it would have been nice to have had her in the original costume and original look, I think if you're going to be like flying around in a Sky Striker, you're going to wear those kind of jumpsuits anyway. So I thought that was I didn't mind that.
Yeah,
I found that
you kind of
cool.
need the suit so you can breathe up there.
Yeah, you want a pressurized suit, the G forces and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome.
I'm gonna love having her.
Oh man,
on display.
Just
so are you taking yours out of the packaging then, Pete? You're going to take yours out of the packaging.
Scarlet? No, I'm leaving her carded.
You're
I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I'm at quite a few of these. I'm going to leave carded.
Yeah,
I'm so happy they did the O-rings. I've been buying all of them like since they come out, and they're not that much money to me. Like the two Cobra guys were like what 41 or something US, and the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, they were like 41 US. So when you can consider the price of one classified figure, they're pretty much the same price. Like for two guys, you can get one classified. So I think they're great. So when they brought those out, it's just a great idea, I think, for fans to be able to get those for sure.
Definitely. But when they said about the Sky Striker, I wanted to back it, but then I thought, no, I won't, because I don't want it not to get back. So I waited until a little bit later, and then it eventually got backed. And then I was like, do I want it? Do I want it? And then I found out that the figures were O-ring, and I was like, back it. So straight in. It was only because the figures were O-ring. I think if it had been like the
Sonic welded
25th anniversary, I wouldn't have gone for it. I would have Wouldn't have backed it. But
Yeah, just something about seeing like the rivets in the arms and the little head with the tiny little paint. It's just yeah.
Oh yeah, they're playing that nostalgia song to you, you know, like a siren song, like And what I was gonna say is I didn't pick up the officer trooper 2-pack, but that does offer, because I've got multiples of those. I'm lucky enough, but it offers a great opportunity for people to army build those for not a lot of money, because if you are going the original vintage figures, those complete, it's like, what are you doing with $50, $60, $70, depending on where you find them out in the wild, not even on Fleabay. So you're pay through the nose, but here, for $40 you can pick up 2.
Actually, I was just talking to Joseph. I was talking to Joseph on Ash the other day, and he was able to find some damaged 2-packs, like the modern ones that were released, and he got them really cheap. So he's army building it through that way, because they look pretty much the same.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so he's and that way you don't want to keep them in the package because the package is damaged anyway. So then you can take them out, and you get all the little guns and stuff too in that little wrap-up pack in the bottom.
Yep.
So you had 3 sets, didn't you? You had 3 sets of 2-packs. They did the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow,
Stormy,
the Cobra Trooper and the Officer, and then Duke and Cobra Commander.
Yep.
Does any of you guys know if they're going to be doing any more of those?
I haven't heard anything.
If they get,
I haven't heard anything after the Stinger. Like they did the Stinger, and that's totally cool. Like you got one, Ace, too, and and it comes with the gray driver, who's totally cool. Yep. But then after that, it kind of went to a halt, and I was just like,
crickets.
Come on, man, because those are so nice. Yeah. But I guess maybe a lot of modern guys, maybe they're too young. Maybe they're a lot younger than us, and they don't really get the O-ring thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, with that, it's like certain toy collectors, when they go back and get stuff that was like way back when, before they were born, and they're collecting that sort of stuff. I think people should. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't use that as an excuse as to say they're too young, because I mean, do you know what I mean? It's
I do,
but
I just wish they.
I don't know.
I wish they would, sprinkle a few in this whole like feast or famine. It's like,
like just
really,
can't they just make one? Like just make one. I don't know. And the other thing I was thinking the other day, me and Shane were down there in the pit. And we thought, if they came out with some new guys, some totally new characters like that Ramp and like that Failsafe, people would buy them up, and it might really spur on a whole new G.I. Joe thing. Like, because you don't have to go back and redo this guy and redo that. We already did that a million times. You can now you can make some new guys and put them with your old O-rings, and they fit right in. Like you can put like an 85 Alpine beside the new Failsafe, and he looks pretty cool with it. Like it looks.
That is a great point. Yeah, I really. You've got. And I don't enjoy those Super 7 figures. I think they're overpriced for what they are. If they were like $8, I would feel maybe a little bit differently about them, but not at $22. I'm like, oh no.
I had a few. I got the Quinn because he's in the comic, so I like that. But you're right. I had the Scarlet. I had the Baroness, of course, because she's the babe, right? Everyone wants her. But I didn't. I sold them. Because every time I went down there, me and Shane agreed. We looked at them and we were like, "Are those Star Wars figures, or what are they? Are they?"
Yeah, it's like they just don't.
And that's okay. Star Wars is awesome, as you guys know. But if you're not a Star Wars guy, they don't fit in the room really. Like they're not.
But your point
they're 5 POA, aren't they? Those Super 7 ones. I mean, the card work again. The card work's fantastic. But if it's going to be a card work between the 5 POA and the O-ring figures, I know what I'm going for every time.
Yeah, all day long.
You know what I mean?
And it's like make Quinn in an O-ring.
Oh yeah,
like
on.
I mean, everyone such rich.
Everybody would buy that.
Oh my god! I mean, the comics just.
Oh yeah.
And I know they're not gonna, but it's like
I know
Joe Hasbro team. Just start reading the comics, like literally the entire team. Like, what are we doing? All right, today we're reading issue number 1, and we're gonna read through number 10. And next week we're gonna go 10 to 20, 30 to 40. Like. For God's sakes, immerse yourself back in the material.
Awesome. Definitely, because they've whet out of appetite with the O-ring figures, haven't they? They've whet out of appetite, and they've given us the attack, the Night Stinger. So why would you leave it at that? They've just had a successful HasLab project with the Sky Striker. You know, both the HasLabs that the GI Joe guys have done they've you know, they've been backed. You had the 6-inch this tank, which I would have loved.
Quickly,
I just haven't got the room.
I mean, that backed in an instant.
Yeah. So that's proof right there. That's proof right there. Everybody would buy these things.
Yeah, the Joe properties. And don't get me wrong, I love my Star Wars, but I mean, the Joe stuff, they were like, hey, Star Wars HasLab, here, hold my beer. We got some work to do. You know, let the big boys talk. You know, you had like the Rancor and the Reva lightsaber that was, and, you know, G.I. Joe guys were like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, two successfully backed HasLabs. I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with that, and that's got to give them confidence in it to think, well, you know, we can do something.
One would think, you know? But who knows?
So, what do you reckon? A USS Flag HasLab, or was that a bit out?
I think they should. Like, that's the Articulated Chad was talking about that in a little. He did an excellent about 8-9 minute rant with that new news that came out that Hasbro is going to be laying off 1,000 people from the company, which that blows, you know, even though they made, you know, $3.5 billion, you know, but they came under, you know, like $500 million from what they promised shareholders. So, hey, I know a quick way. Sorry, you don't work here anymore. And so I feel for those people. I've seen that happen in big business in real time, and people with their box of stuff, and you know, they came into work that morning and they're like, no, here's your box, you don't work here anymore. But HasLab's supposed to be this big crazy reach for the stars stuff.
I mean, the thing is with things like that, Pete, it's the everyday worker that gets sort of like bummed out when these things like that happen.
Yeah,
not
every time.
The managers that make those decisions, you know, managers making bad decisions like that cost the company money, and it's like the workers that get the tin tack. Do you know what I mean? They get laid off.
Yeah, we get screwed. You're right.
Yeah, they continue to fail upwards.
Yeah.
But
they can move on, and they can move on and go work anywhere because they have all the credentials. Whereas a normal line worker, you know, maybe all they have is high school, and then they're screwed. And that, to me, that's just sickening, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, Dave, have you got yourself any more classifieds, or are you just sticking with the?
I have one left, and it is the Ram motorcycle and breaker. Because
that's the only one you got, yeah. But I wasn't saying it because I thought you might have gone on and got some more, but obviously.
I love that one because you gave it to me, and it means a lot to me because, as you guys know, in Christmas '82, my whole story again, I got Stalker, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, the Ram bike, and so when you gave me that, I almost cried that day, and that was something really special. So that one's never going away. Yeah, but me and Shane, like I said, when we were down there looking at the Super 7s the other day, and we put them up on free ads, and then I looked at the Cobra guys, and I was like, yeah, they're kind of cool, like they're great, but they're just the wrong scale, and they don't really fit to what we.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
what you love.
But they're still worth a lot of money in a way. So the second you put them up on the free ads, you can still get $30 for an open one.
Yep.
So we just put them all on there, and I got a couple $100 for everything, and we were able to buy more O-ring 80s stuff. So
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Wheeling and dealing. Cool. I'm liking the sound of that. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, because like with the classifieds, I mean, when they first came out, I mean, they weren't that great. I don't know. I think people have said that it was based on a game, but they have slowly and steadily improved. They have.
Yeah, they certainly righted course.
So definitely, I mean, you've got the 6-inch cards now with the original like style retro card backs, which are pretty cool, but they're looking a lot better than what they were.
Definitely the weapons. Everyone complained about the weapons.
God, yeah.
Geez. Yeah. Well, it was a hidden, not so hidden Nerf ad, you know, like we also make this with a Nerf rifle. And you're like,
were they the weapons? Were they the weapons they had in the game? Did they
in the game? And they were, you had some cross promotional, you know, from the game and Nerf, you know, it was like really.
No.
And now I'm kind of scared. Like I was watching Articulated Ninja's review of Zorana that he got, and you know, he's like, this is this is a badass looking figure.
Cool.
She
looks good.
Cool. She's
Yeah,
hot. And he's like, you know, just politely posing her, and it's like, and the arm just bloop right off the peg. Yeah, I mean, it's not broke. It's just that ball peg. You know, his fix, and it was a good fix, was to super glue layers of super glue on there, let it dry. You know, don't try to force anything. Come back to it the next day. So you built that peg up, and now that arm's much more solid on there and not loosey goosey. But you know, it's that kind of stuff. It's like, especially if Hasbro's going to be looking to look, where can we cut corners? And, you know, it's like, oh, geez.
Well, that better not be an issue with the figures going forward. If they're getting rid of a lot of people, their quality issues are better not sort of like go down the pan, because I think that will. The thing is, if you want to make money, you want to put out a good quality item.
Sure.
And the Sky Striker for me is that good quality item. I mean, that, you know, like I said, the feel of it, the plastic, it just feels like a sturdy piece.
Awesome.
Yes, you've got to be careful when you're putting the wings on and the tail fins and the little bits at the back, because you've got those like clips. But you know, but
to that,
I mean, look at NECA. Look at NECA. Look at the figures. You know, especially Dino with Deep Strong and his ET. It's, do you know what I mean? You're charging that amount of money. You've got to make it a quality piece. Definitely.
Yeah, that's NECA. I have none. I don't want to. It's like, look at it. It's in a box, and you can't move it because otherwise it'll break.
Well, touch wood. I mean, we've had a few NECA figures. We got some of the Back to Future ones, and I think I got my dad a few for his birthday and Christmas, and they seem to be okay. You know, they've held up, but it's just frightening when you see that. And if, like you say, they're going to lay people off, and the quality standards go down the drain, you know, they're going to lose even more money, because people are going to think, sod this, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to that point, there's already, you know, I quickly ripped into my Sky Striker to look at the cards, because a lot of people are reporting damage to these card backs, and it's like, it's a HasLab. I didn't go down to Walmart and pick up this figure, you know, and you do that. Okay, this is the best one off of the peg. Like, this is a HasLab, and they're getting, you know, figures with the bubble lifting, or there's, you know, a tear or a bend in the card. And it's like, they know full well that we as adult collectors are getting these for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we want those cards to be.
But the way I look at it, even if it's HasLab, I think the quality should be the same. But do you know what I mean? It
you're not wrong.
You shouldn't just have a quality
all day long
piece for HasLab. Everything else needs to be quality, because that's your bread and butter.
Yeah. It's like what Mark just said there. He said that you shouldn't have to jump through hoops just to get a quality product.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
Well, especially with the rising prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There should be no excuses, really.
Yep. When you're looking at $40 for a Black Series figure that in 2019 was
Gerard
$22, it's like,
that's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy.
Hey, Gerard.
No, I can remember when I first, it was 2020 when I started, you know, getting into collecting the Black Series. You could get 2 figures for £30. Not anymore. You'd be lucky if some figures are costing £32, £35, especially the Boba Fett, which is ridiculous. I mean, do you know what I mean? They're just outpricing themselves.
It really is. I am enjoying, I don't know, in your Instagram feeds of our friends and the bigger community, but people posting pictures where they're picking up these figures months and months past when they, you know, it was the new hotness, right? The FOMO of, you gotta get it. And they're like, hey, look, I just picked it up for 13 quid, you know, and everybody's like, yeah.
Well, that's another reason why now I've stopped getting pre-orders and stopped getting stuff in like as often as I did. It's because you see it, and you've even waiting for your pre-orders to come through, and you go on online and look at the online stores, and they're selling them. You know, they've reduced the price already, and think, Jesus. So I'm just leaving it for a bit. Just give it a few months, and then let the hurrah die down, and then just go back and, you know, you can go into shops or you go to places and just get them for cheaper.
You're just sore over the quadruple duplicates that you've been doing.
yeah, I love that. He's like, oh, bloody hell.
Bloody hell, another duplicate.
Look, listen,
Georgie.
some of them weren't my fault. Some of them weren't my fault. The ones where it's saved in the basket and I went to buy something else wasn't my fault. Although I should have checked, so technically it was my fault. But that Storm Shadow, what was all that about? I cannot believe it. I thought it was going to be the Crimson Guard, and I was so excited for it to come out and just come out as another Storm Shadow. I was just, I can't believe it. I've literally turned around and looked. He's another bloody Storm Shadow. God damn it! I mean, talking to the devil, where is he?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All I can think of is it puts the figure in the basket, or else it gets the hose again.
I mean, look, he's a quality piece.
He is a
He's
great
a quality looking figure, but
he's awesome.
Get two of them? Why get two of them?
Yeah, and I don't mean to say it. They, when I said before, oh, I sold mine and this and that, like some dickhead. I didn't mean it like they are really great, and I like that. You get them and you like them and you do reviews. I think that's awesome. I hate it when people, when people come on, they're like, oh, I'm doing this now, so everything else sucks, and blah blah blah. But anyway, I like them. Yeah.
Here's a question for you guys. This is the Humble Collector. We get a lot of figure toys from States. Is there any British toys that go the other way?
Ooh. No.
Oh.
I mean, trying to get like the BBC release of Doctor Who figures, good luck. I mean, there's some great stuff. I mean, you can find it for sale here at a premium, but it trickles in, and Georgie,
yeah.
But it's not like we can run down to Target and pick up some Doctor Who figures, because I would. There's some great stuff. I mean, the Tom Bakers and the Daleks. Like, come on.
So, do you not have any like online stores over there that get stuff in from the UK then, like the Doctor Who or anything like that?
I think Big Bad Toy Store does to some extent. That's pretty much the main retailer that I hang out on. Yeah,
up here, not really. No, like it's pretty much. It's almost like when we were kids, when we only had a Real American Hero, or in my case, it was G.I. Joe with no Real American Hero under it, but it was a Real American Hero, right? So I mean, there's not really any stuff, that is that easy to get from the UK or anywhere else. It's kind of like you got to go on your own and try to find them. But
you're certainly going to pay a premium for it versus what it's selling for in the UK. Hopping down to Smith's or what have you to pick it up.
Yeah. How easy is the Action Force toy line to get over there? The Z Force, the Q Force, SAS Force, and Space Force. Can you get that?
That's pretty darn hard.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Pete was trying to.
Damn you, Stu.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Pete was trying
to get something here.
Okay, I'm back. It's freaking hard, dude.
It is. It's next to impossible.
Oh my God.
Trying to get me to get into it a little while ago, and we talked about it, and I did some research and stuff. But like just to get a few things would be a lot of money. So it's kind of
the occasional loose Action Force on eBay. Look out, because whoever's got it for sale knows that this is an import. And that if you really want it, you're really going to pay for it. And it's like, I'm not paying that. Like early on, I got quite a few things, from eBay UK, and and contacting those sellers and saying, hey, if I get this, this, and this, you combine shipping. And they're like, oh yeah, just don't pay the invoice. Let us send you one. And you're like, okay, that's more reasonable, because you see those listings too. At least I do, the way I've got my eBay enabled. So it's like, carded mouton, 30 pounds, and then the shipping's like 27 pounds. And you go, oh, what the? But usually those sellers you can contact and say, hey, I'm looking to get this, this, and this, and they'll make it worth your while.
It is because of Pete. I agree.
I blame Tony at Analog Toys for lifting the scales from my eyes, and I'm like, Action Force. How much I love the.
You're coming over to the UK in a couple of months. Yep. So, and you're going to be hitting up the Leicester Vintage Toy Shop. So should possibly have some bits there.
and hopefully a couple other places. And I'm bringing an empty suitcase just for that reason. Serious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Are you going to visit Stu when you're there, Pete? Are you going to visit Stu or? Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna meet up. We're gonna both be going to a celebration. So I think I've got tickets for me and Georgia, should I say, not just me. We've got tickets for the Friday and the Saturday, and then I think you'll go in the Sunday and the Monday as well.
Monday.
But because it's holiday period, Easter holidays, we're going to be having Sunday and Monday off. So we're going to pop up to London and meet Leslie and then meet up with Pete later on in the evening when he gets back from.
It's going to be a big party for like 4 days. People
it will be.
We were very lucky and scored 4-day passes for celebration, but it allows us. I was telling Stu in the green room, it's not that I want to hang out at celebration 24/7 for 4 days. I mean, I like Star Wars, but not that long for Star Wars. But what it does is it allows us to be able to meet whoever's got like a 1-day pass or whatever. Hey, Adam, and just cater to, hey, yeah, we can meet you up. And what pub are we going to and getting a pint?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
A point.
That's the best. Point. Yeah, points.
Oh yeah, man.
A wee dram. It's my Scottish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we got Echo next weekend. Oh, next Saturday's Echo.
I would. So love I'll be hit Echo,
popping up and meeting a few people up there as well. So that'd be cool. But yeah, no, absolutely with you, Pete. I mean, we went to Celebration in 2016 up in London, and we enjoyed it as an experience. It was the first one we went to, but I think. This time round, because you like yourselves go, and we know a lot more people.
Yeah,
we can meet up and see people. That's what it's all about. Definitely. Gutted. Definitely.
But yeah,
have you been to the UK? Oh, sorry.
Be on the hunt. No, I'm going to be on the hunt for Action Force wherever I go.
Awesome. So, what is it that you need to complete then? Because you've got quite a healthy SAS Force. You've got quite a healthy Z Force. So it's just Q-Force and Space Force.
Yeah,
no, don't, because I said I wouldn't cry, but yeah, it's gone to a good home.
It's right here behind me. I can prove it. Proof of life. There.
No, it's cool.
Quite a few of the harder Q Force, some of the Wave 1 figures.
Okay,
I need.
Is that the ones before they're actually gone into Z Force and SAS Force? The actual original,
where they shrunk down Action Man to that. Yeah, I need quite a few there. I've got a whole electronic list going, thankfully. But
well, happy birthday!
Hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Adam.
I know that Larry Hama wrote in the Red Baron, the bad guy for the Action Force. I think it was like
Baron Ironblood.
Yeah,
Baron
Ironblood.
Yeah.
And I was reading it. I didn't really know much about it. This was a couple years ago, and then I got into that. I was like, this is cool because there's a whole other set of bad guys for the Joe team to fight, right? So,
I remember the comics for the Action Force comics, and they were they're not your standard I don't know the comics you used to get, and these were like newspaper type comics and that kind of feel to it with ink and stuff like that and colors and. Battle Action Force, that's what it was called. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And it was all set around Action Force, the Red Shadows, Baron Ironblood, the Black Major. And I used to have stacks and stacks of them, and then I got rid of them all. But it was pretty good reading because we didn't have the G.I. Joe comics come out.
Those came later.
I think it was, they came later. And then once it all started transitioning from Action Force to G.I. Joe, that's when that storyline, I think, was going on with Baron Ironblood disappearing and getting shot or whatever, then he transitions into Cobra Commander.
Commander.
Yep.
And
talking of Action Force.
Oh yeah, there he is. The Jackal.
There he is. Yep.
That's cool.
Waiting for you.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Awesome. So I'm going to put him down because I don't want to drop him or break him or anything like that.
How is he different than 83 Destro, like around his chest? Is he painted a bit different?
He's got
hang on. Let me go.
Make yourself
screen.
Big. Make yourself big.
There you go. So hang on a minute. Let's get that in
focus. Oh, there you go. Cool. Perfect.
He's got the lead.
He's got the Red Shadows.
That is
Red Shadows.
Crossbones. Oh, so good.
Oh,
but
man,
he's in such. Cool. He's like, limbs are tight. He's got his crotch piece. His thumbs there. The paintwork's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
His noggin's pretty shiny. So
I love it because George
Yeah.
Aiken sent me the hyena for Christmas. God love him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I told you I was going to send you one. And I'm like, George, I thought it was going to be, have fun, trying to piece it out, which I do enjoy. And he sent one complete, and the stickers are in great shape. I mean, Palatoy they took that hiss, Dave, that you and I know and love, and then throw it in red plastic, and then just sticker the ever-loving hell out of
Rolando
it.
in the house.
I mean, it's
Hello,
so
sir.
cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rolando.
Okay.
You got an admirer of your lights.
Oh, thanks. Yep, color changing pucks makes it fun.
Awesome.
Hey Pete, you were saying that you're going to get some posters. Are you going to get 3D Joe's ones for the room down there? Or?
Ooh, you know what? Now that I've got more real estate over there, that's a very good idea. Yeah, because there are some that they've got that I really like. Of course, your room is in the pit. I'm like, oh, that's so good. Plus, I love how you have all your comics. Like,
yeah. Just make me feel so good. Just to have them in a pile somewhere in a drawer or something doesn't do any justice to them, right? Because the artwork is
the
so
artwork
nice.
is so good.
Yeah,
I may have to do like a mega border, maybe going around. That would just be cool.
Oh man, yeah.
Yep. There's so many ideas swirling in my head with this room. I need to do a little update again.
Yeah. Well, we're all curators. Like Stu had a show the other day about how he's changing his room up, and you had, you're talking about what you're going to do, but we're all like museum curators for this stuff. So it's kind of a special.
Very much
thing.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, I personally would like to have the room to be able to display it all and not have to worry about changing stuff about. Because yes, it is good. Well, I would say good fun. I mean, I don't have a bundle of joy when I'm doing it. It's it can be quite stressful
when you talk over all the figures. Just trying to.
I just want to get it out of the way and done with, because I was going to film all of this. I was going to film it, and I started filming it, and I just kept on looking at the camera and making. I was like, oh, do you know what? Just stop filming, get it done, and then display it, and then you can show it off. And so I opted not to film it in the end, but. Ideally, I would like a place where I could display absolutely everything that I have and not have to worry about moving it about and stuff like that. But
it's called America. Just come to America.
You do realize Georgie's watching this, don't you?
I do.
So. Georgie, come on, let's get it sorted.
You can have a basement.
I know. But yeah, one day we will. One day, hopefully. But so anyway, pickups. Have you guys got any pickups?
Yes.
Who wants to?
There's VTR Dave in the chat. What's up, Dave?
Yes. Seen VTR. What you got then? What you going to show us, Pete?
Oh, well, just
Dave.
Go on, Dave. Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
no, crack on, Dave.
Are you guys talking to me?
You're the guest, Dave.
You're the guest. You first, please.
Yeah. I'm just looking at that Avalanche guy. What's his name again? Cold Front. I want to get him because I don't have the driver for that. And then past that, I'm still looking at the 82 cardboard Cobra base that's eluded me for a while.
Ooh, the Sears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And,
yes, I am, Dave.
Yeah. And what else? Well, me and Shane are going to do a Defiant video on the channel coming up. So we're going to take our Defiant out and do like quite a big, review on it.
Yeah.
But it's just, as Pete knows, it's kind of hard because the thing's so damn fragile that you don't really want to move it around too much. So that's kind of why I've been putting it off. But so that one might take a bit of time. But yeah.
And it's cold out, so you're like, oh no, that's a bad combination. Warm weather if you're going to take it outside, so it's feeling flexible.
Yeah. Especially the doors, those blue doors, eh? Like they're like, yeah.
I just leave mine folded open, and I just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah,
for the moment.
It sure is fun to light up, though, for sure. Like you put lights.
Oh yeah, I love how you got the LEDs around yours, like it's a launch complex. Like at NASA at the Space Center.
Yeah, that was Mixmaster Shane's idea the one night. He's like, why don't we do it like it's like what you just said, like a launch pad, like an actual real, U.S. Air Force launch pad. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it really shows it off.
Yeah. And then I guess next video we're doing is going to be a 1983 Wolverine and CoverGirl. And
Okay.
we're also going to do a little bit on the diversity of GI Joe, which I think is a very important topic because before there were social agendas and social justice, there was GI Joe, and they had everybody in it. They represented women, they represented Indians culture, Native Americans, Hispanics, and all different types of groups. And that was before it was awesome. Cool to do. So, yeah.
Yep. Love it.
Oh,
and you just dropped a video on the tactical battle platform.
Yep, and that's one awesome. that you had when you were a kid, of course.
Oh,
and so that was
right
awesome.
there.
That was really such a
I
great
remember. I watched that one. I'm going to be using that as a pointer video to see which bits and bobs that I need to get, because I've got a couple of bits. I'm waiting for the parts to come through still. So I've got 3 parts coming. I need to get them whitened up. So I'm going to film with that process and stuff like that. But it's not something I'm going to rush. So it's going to be my next restoration project. So I'm going to be looking at
soak it in
your video, Dave, and just looking at pointers and stuff like that and seeing what I need to get to it. Get for it. So yeah, awesome.
I am missing the missile rack. Pete knows. He probably. Well, we all know these things when we watch things. Who's missing what on what? But I'm missing the missile. Or the weapons armament rack has like Airborne's gun and Grunts and a couple other guys.
Yeah.
So I'm missing that. So yeah.
Awesome. I see Goji's he's back on YouTube, isn't he? He's put his videos out. He's done another one.
Micronaut.
Micronauts. Micronauts. He said he was working on that, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. No, it's good. The guy is just an encyclopedia of information. It's phenomenal. It really is. I mean, he definitely does his homework. And I remember when I was talking to him in my collecting life, he was just saying about, he likes to look into stuff. And I brilliant. Absolutely awesome.
He does some awesome deep dive.
Yeah, I don't do that myself. I'm just very lazy. Yeah, look at this. Brilliant. Fantastic. There you go. Right, next video.
Bloody hell, another duplicate.
Yeah, how did I get that?
Well, yeah. Jeez, yeah. Oh, I hate. Oh, dear me. But yeah.
But we love it, though. Yeah. We love the videos because everyone has a different way how they all do their stuff. So
that's what makes it fun. I watched Dave your battle platform video, and then I watched it long ago, but the YouTube algorithm's like, hey, have you seen G.I. Joe Berg's, tactical battle platform? And I was like, why, thank you, algorithm, for once you're actually working, for me, I feel like, with me, rather than against us. And I'm like, I haven't watched that in a while. So I clicked it, and they're like flying it in, with the helicopters and into the
Did you see
title
their video
pool.
when they were doing that? That 3 or 4 hour video they've done of all their play motions.
Yeah, where they've strung them all together. Yeah.
So awesome.
And I sent you guys that link in that chat as well about that guy that did the guys that do the stop motion. Did you get to see those? Oh, they've only done about 3 or 4 videos, but my God, that was just fantastic. That really was good. I like those. Yeah,
and the hours spent to do that stop motion. I know there's like the software for it's gotten better, but I'm like,
you two carry on chatting. I'm going to put that link in the post. I'm going to if I can find it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I like having my Joe wide and varied like that.
Oh, I remember the one day you did a little scene outside, and you were saying, it's good to get outside and still play with your stuff like when you were a kid. And then I thought, what, he's right. And I went out and I did my own. And I think there's something to be said about that when you're still playing with your stuff instead of just letting it collect dust on a shelf. It really means a lot.
Yeah, it was. I took like an hour, and I'm like hunting in the yard for sticks and stuff, just like it did back in the day. And getting some brown paper bag to make a little bivouac, the canvas.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure the neighbors are like, what on earth is he doing by the fire pit? All crouched down, and I'm like digging trenches and ripped up a couple weeds that look more like trees. And I'm like, perfect. They look like tree scale for Joe. And I, buried them back in. And
so, anybody in the chat, I've just posted this link in the chat. Go to these guys' YouTube channel. They do the most fantastic stop motion G.I. Joe movies. It really is good.
They'll knock your socks off.
It's phenomenal. They've only done about 3 or 4 videos, but my God, they are worth watching. Absolutely brilliant. And that's not taking anything away from G.I. Joe Berg, because they actually do play motion. So I'm I like both equally just as much as each other. So, yeah, two very good
Dave,
channels.
I love how you always mix in like just classic 80s tunes or that 80s angle to your videos. I'm always like, oh, what are we going to be treated? Is it going to be Beastie Boys? You know, is it going to be Motley Crue? Like, what is it?
Yeah, well, Shane
Good
likes
man,
that
Adam.
too.
Good man.
Believe it or not, he inspires me for that because he's like, oh, this week let's put like Iron Maiden or
nice,
and like some old Beasties or something like you just said, because he likes a lot of the same music too. Because growing up, whatever I had on, he would hear, and of course all the new music kind of bites compared to the old stuff we had, and,
right?
And even the kids know that too. Like your daughter, she loves AC/DC, and she knows that nobody's better than AC/DC. So
yeah.
Like, you know, so
I don't know. Foo
awesome.
Fighters, Guns N' Roses, you know, there's quite a few bands that are quite decent there, Dave.
Oh,
but
yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
So my question to you is, Dave, every time I see your video, you've got this music blaring out, and I'm thinking, how the fucking hell has he managed to get?
You know what? I have no idea how or why, because everybody else can't. So
I don't get it.
Say anything.
It's
but
a Canadian thing. They're like,
oh,
he's from the Great White
okay,
North,
yeah.
eh? Like, leave him alone, eh?
Yeah, take off, eh?
Yeah,
they got like
my music on, eh? And
you nom, they got like 8 inches of snow last night, eh?
Yeah, take off, hoster.
Yes, I don't. That's what I mean.
I know. Every time it's like, how?
Yeah. So what's your secret? Don't tell us. But yeah,
don't tell.
Probably because I'm up here in the middle of nowhere. Nobody gives a shit. That's probably why. But yeah.
So another question from the humble collector: Was it different in the States at Christmas as kids? Over here, we only got 1 or 2 toys, a lot of chocolate.
Ooh, a lot of.
What about you guys?
Ooh.
Dave, you want to go first?
Well, I know that my wife, she gets packages from Germany all the time that are German chocolates and German stuff. And there's a shop here that you can go to in the city that has all German stuff. But as far as getting other stuff from other countries, it's kind of hard to find here. Was that the question? Am I answering the wrong question again?
I don't know. Let me put the question up again.
What was your Christmas like in the 80s?
Oh shit. Okay. Like, that is not the answer I gave was something totally different. So
no, still cool.
Oh, okay.
Did you have a wife in the 80s then, Dave?
he married very early. It's one of those
very young
childhood romances arranged.
Well, Canada, but there you are.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So what's the question? In the States, Christmas kids. Oh yeah. Well, we got tons of stuff, man. Like, I don't know. It's almost like over here.
Don't rub it in.
Yeah. I just think that the marketing here was insane here. Pete will attest to that. We had so much to pick from. And I mean, parents knew that the kids were so into this Hollywood crap and toys and everything that if you didn't get that stuff, you just wouldn't be happy. Whereas maybe in Europe, like my wife kind of explained, like, yeah, you guys had toys in that, but it wasn't like this gigantic marketing machine, maybe that the US was or Canada at that time. I think that might be why. And you guys were more maybe doing other stuff. Like you guys were maybe more with your families and shit. And we were just kind of like, we just want, you know what I mean, Pete? Like, I don't know.
I mean, back in the UK, I mean, I can't speak for the rest of Europe. I mean, back in the UK, it was very, family orientated. But then I get that impression that that's what it was like in Canada and the US anyway, very family orientated. But presents wise, it was, well, for me, I mean, because I obviously had 2 sisters. So, I mean, we, our parents couldn't afford to go mega crazy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But what we got, we appreciated. But I think toy wise, we was always seemed to be behind like the US. That's what I'm saying. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, we never had the Defiant, we never had the Rolling Thunder, we never had the USS Flag. We weren't even aware of it back then, and kids in this country would have absolutely loved that. I mean, we only, we would have loved that over here. Definitely.
Yeah. I think because it stemmed from here, because Hasbro properties were over here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So we had access to all that before anybody else. So of course we had it first. So that's probably more the answer to the question that I was so stupid I didn't answer about 10 minutes ago.
No, it's okay. I mean, we had Palatoy, but then they sort of like they closed down and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean,
but yeah, it wasn't until
even with TVs as well, TV shows and stuff like that.
Wasn't it like 86, 87 when finally Hasbro was in charge of Palatoy. Wasn't
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
transitional years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it didn't really go
and
over
that's
there
when you started
until-
to see all the international heroes.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
here's all this,
Yeah.
and
It's Cat in the
for sure.
house.
Hey, Cat.
Whee! Hello.
But our Christmas was kind of like we always got one or two like big gifts, and then everything else was little. So the one that I guess I talk about the most because it did stick out the most was my brother got the Terradrome and I got the tactical battle platform that Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And we both were like, what? As we were opening the gift wrap on them. And then we got like some carded figures and then chocolates and
see, that's something else we never got over here. Terradrome. Didn't even realize that was obviously we knew about it because of the cartoon, but we never knew it was an actual playset and toy. Again, that would have been something kids over here would have absolutely lapped up if they followed G.I. Joe and Action Force and stuff like that.
Maybe it just wasn't really available because, like in the stores and stuff, because if you went here, if you went anywhere, if you went Toys R Us, Zellers, Towers, JCPenney, any of them, they had these things. Like they might only have one in stock, but it was sitting there and you could see it. So whereas maybe in Europe or in UK, they just weren't really around. So it's kind of like maybe that's
you had the really cool recolor of the G.I. Joe HQ into the Z Force colors.
Oh yeah, right.
Which was awesome. So that's kind of an outlier of a really cool base that did make it over there. But you're right. There should have been so much more to come with that. I'm like, oh my gosh, can you imagine a enemy, Baron Ironblood Terradrome themed out in those colors and what could have been. So now I think that's where so many people's one of the groups I'm in where these guys are making some just badass Action Force customs of Joe vehicles. They're making a Q Force dune buggy out of the Awe Striker. So it's got that blue and yellow and orange, and then they're doing the stickers, the Q Force stickers to it, which fits perfect to a beach kind of watery vibe. Cool stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I love it. So it's it really is like filling that void of what could have been.
Yeah.
Well, there's every possibility. Humble Collector again. We had Thunderbirds, but cool stuff didn't come out until the 90s. Do you think that's why British adults love US toys so much? Listen. For me, being from the UK, Transformers. I never knew what a Transformer was. The cartoon hadn't hit in the UK. The toys hadn't hit, and it was only when my nan came back from the States one year that she bought me back my first Autobot, which was Jazz, and that was the only Transformer I ever had. And then, I think it was about 3 or 4 months later, maybe 6 months later, stuff started filtering through from the US, and we was like, "What is this?" And then the cartoons hit, and we was like, again, all over it. So, I don't. We had Action Force, and at the time we thought that was pretty cool. But then even when the O-Ring figures came over from the States into UK, like Gung Ho, Scarlet, they were still packaged on the Action Force cards. So you had, like the Desert Rat. It was those kind of card backs that we had for Action Force. And then, like I say, when Palatoy went and then it all transitioned, then we started getting the G.I. Joe cards and stuff like the international heroes and stuff like that. But yours was a real American hero. In UK and Europe, it was international hero.
No, it sold better. Which I think is cool. I always was this ragtag crew from all over the place, which I thought was cool. And I think that's what's really interesting about international heroes. When you look at those bios, Dave, we know our North American bios, but then you're like, he's from Switzerland, and you're like, that's just cool.
Yeah, I like that too. It's great.
Yeah, but the UK, the European version, International Heroes, was Full Force, and not like Joe. But so what we got here,
Sergeant Slammer.
I had friends growing up that lived in the neighborhood with me, and the one guy was from Holland.
Yeah,
his name was
definitely
Simon.
had him.
Yeah, and he was like, this guy, he didn't come out until 1989 when I was in Holland, and I'm like, no, that's Monkey Wrench. He came out in '86. And he'd be like, "Oh, his name's Baco," and I'd be like, "Who the hell's Baco?" or something.
Yeah,
but it's cool now to read about it, and and even collect them and learn about it.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Chris has all those Holland file cards.
Yeah.
And those are awesome to look at.
Yeah, because he talks about how for as much as like Stu in the UK, 87, 88, it's like it was even more delayed for Europe and being in Holland.
Hello,
It's
sir.
like,
Thank you for joining us.
hey, TJC. Yeah, I love that learning the history behind the line, the ins and outs of like the distribution, like why did that come over there, like what was the link, and listening to like Bob Breakin talk. I mean, I could listen to Bob for
I know,
like
Here he
take
is,
a college
Goji's
course
one.
from him, right?
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
be like, this semester I have Bob, sweet. Like,
I know,
all right,
seriously. Yeah.
I'm ready to learn.
Yeah.
We have the man with the soft, soothing tones in the house. Hello, Goji. How are
What's
you,
up,
sir?
Carl?
Handsome. Well, listen, we're not as handsome as the guys on ZSR, that's for sure. Old Babe Station boys. We're more like the housewives' favourites. Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. But yeah, no, like I said to you earlier, I don't go traveling through the internet searching for stuff and finding the history. But basically, I don't have the time. Do you know what I mean? I've got, I try and have a balance and stuff like that. But I absolutely love learning about it. But I like learning about it and hearing about it from guys like yourselves, people that know. And I think that adds to the conversation because I'm still learning a lot about different toy lines and stuff like that.
Oh, all
I've
the
never
time.
confessed that I'm an expert in anything that I collect. I
Nope,
just
I'm
love
just a
collecting
schmo.
it. And I love listening to yourselves and stuff like that, and other people that do know about their stuff. And it's just fascinating to listen to. Definitely, absolutely. Growing up in London, 70s and 80s, we had Dinky, Corgi, Matchbox, Panatoy, Airfix, Hornby. So I always had great presents. We had nothing to compare it to. But no, that's right, we didn't because the internet wasn't a thing in those days. Can you imagine if it was? We would have been all over your stuff like a rash. We'd have been getting the USS Flag and the Defiant and the Terradrome and stuff like that. Can't do it now because it costs too much to ship over, but there you are.
Did you guys have MTV over there, Stu?
We did, yeah. That was that would have been in the when did I start? So that would have been 93, 94 MTV.
Oh,
come
see,
over.
so even that,
Nice.
AP, that's way later. Like we were,
Yeah,
like
that is
82,
much later.
82, 83.
Well,
with like
when films were released, it got released in Hollywood and the States first, and then it got released to UK probably about 6-7 months later. So you guys had already seen it, and we were like wondering what the fuss was about. And then it actually hit the theaters in the UK, and it was months later. But now, because of how things have progressed and stuff like that, it's pretty much roughly about the same time. Even to a point now where we're getting figures before you guys. So eat it,
you
mate.
are. Yeah, you are. Thank God. I mean, you got your Sky Striker, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, thank God the UK's getting some stuff first.
Well, I was lucky I
Like-
got my Sky Striker because the dumbass freaking delivery driver left it out on the doorstep in the rain.
I know he
playing
should have
you
put
with
it-
everybody.
Could have put a strobe on it and a couple orange cones, like, please
Yeah,
steal
exactly.
me.
But it's got what it is written all over the box. So someone's only going to walk
Yeah,
past
the
and go,
shipper box. Hasbro.
Yeah, I never backed that. I think I love that. Thank you very much. Unbelievable. And you know what? I still haven't written to them and told them about it. But my God. Yeah, I was
That's
fuming.
ridiculous.
I was fuming. And if it
I'd
had
be
got
so
any water
mad.
damage on it, I think I would have cried. But oh man.
Thankfully,
of course.
yeah, box
Yeah.
within a box within a box.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, Wilma.
Wilma Dickfit. Come on. Jesus Christ. Really? I had to double take at that. That's a quality name. Quality name.
I love these handles. Some
Well,
good.
Well, to answer your question,
My
yes,
dick
it will,
doesn't
because
fit.
mine's like an adjustable spanner. So there you are.
adjustables.
Yeah, Jesus.
Georgie's going to come in and slap him upside the head.
She'll wait until I'm off air, then she'll do it.
Enough
Sky
of this
started
vulgarity.
become a bit of a thing, but it was late compared. Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
What do we got now,
Sky.
Goji? To be fair, you should have been home to receive. Well, this is true. I mean,
Work,
yeah,
smirk. Just take a
won't go
personal
there.
day.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on, what's your
Small
get your
town in the
priorities
UK.
straight?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
G.I.
Okay,
Joe.
cool.
Grissom 2, 3. Oh, in a charity
Oh,
shop.
okay.
Nice.
What
Yeah, I
else
know
we got?
Keith
I did my
Knight. He
chart.
hits a lot of charity shops, and he's always, hey, check out what I picked up for
Yeah.
a quid or 50p. he's finding some nice stuff.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it, Adam. I never backed the
Ah,
I never backed Red 5's book. So gutted about that.
he's still salty.
No,
You're on
thank
the
you.
list.
Yeah, I know.
Just
I know. Here he is. First ever song played on MTV
Dick
was
fit.
Video Killed. Well, yeah. First
Yep.
song on MTV was your
money for nothing.
Wow,
Oh,
look at that.
that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Offer.
Oh
Get
yeah.
your chicks for
I
free.
still can't get over that guy's name. That's oh dear.
And it's an evil Lynn. Looks like his little puck.
Yeah.
I love it.
Unbelievable. God damn. Well, another thing I was going to ask you guys, and this is about like sort of like movies and stuff like that and franchises. And now I know ZSR sort of like touched on it on Friday, but do you think? I mean, because I know they were talking about what do you call them? The Marvel movies and superhero movies. Do you think there has to come a time when franchises stop milking, or film companies stop milking a franchise for its worth, and then end up ruining the legacy of those movies?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm looking at like Raiders of the Lost Indiana Jones franchise. I mean, the first few films are absolutely brilliant. You've got the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which to me wasn't a very good film, and now you've got the next one coming out this
And I'm
year.
scared.
Is it this year?
I think so. Yeah. So I'm like,
I mean,
I don't hold much hope.
take money out of it. If it wasn't about the money, do you think they'll do it? If it wasn't about the money, do you think they'll carry on making these films? Because I just think there's got to come a time when it's got to stop.
No, if it wasn't for the money, I mean, why would you keep going? It's like milk that cash cow till it's more than dry and chafed, and
Yeah.
but it's beating
but
the
then
dead
that's ruining
horse.
the legacy. It is. That's ruining the legacy of the movies because you're going to think, well,
definitely.
the whole franchise. I'll say the whole franchise has been ruined. But you look at Rambo. I mean, how long can that keep going on for? I mean,
I know, and I love that character so much, and the First Blood and all that. And I hate how they're going to go down that road with all these extra films too, because it is taking away from it for me. Because he's such a great character. I just love how quiet he is and how you can't mess with him, and he's just a very cool character. And it's also a story about Vietnam vets, which shouldn't be lost in the shuffle here too, because that was a major thing. Yep. And now the movies seem more just about pure violence, like the last one. So it's kind of like,
we'll come back to that one, Humble. We'll come back to that one, mate.
Yeah, I could do without, destroying our properties from the 80s. Yeah.
When you look at First Blood, that was so well written. What a fantastically written film that was. It was excellent. It was all the action you wanted. It's a fantastic storyline. Then you had Rocky again.
It was great. Yeah.
Very well written, well acted. A great storyline.
Any movie that can make you cry is a damn good movie, in my opinion.
But then you look at Jaws. I mean, that wasn't like littered with special effects. I mean, they had the issue with the mechanical shark.
That was still good. The suspense.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a good story. It was a well-written story. I mean, you look at the bit where the three of the guys are on the boat and Quint's talking about the USS Indianapolis. When it gets hit by that missile, it starts to sink, and then the guys are in the water and half of them get taken out by sharks. I mean, what a perfect thing to put in a film like that. And it just tied in so nicely. And you do not get stories like that anymore. Or it's for me, it's just all about great CGI effects, and they lose in the storyline. The writing is becoming lazy, and I think what they're doing is pissing basically over franchises that did really well in the 80s and the 90s. Stop, keep doing that. Come up with your own ideas. Make something new. Make something original.
New ideas.
Create.
Great new stories, like Pete was going to say, or whatever. Yeah.
Michael at Retro Blasting talking about it, and has for years. It's like Hollywood is there's this bankruptcy of new ideas where like there's nothing like creatively bankrupt, I think is what what he said.
I do have one thing to say about that, and this is a little bit not really off topic. It might be right to the topic, but they wouldn't want us to talk about it. Is that some people think that Hollywood is controlled by other things right now, and they actually kind of want to destroy kind of the U.S. and Canada and what we've known. So they're not really letting that happen because they don't want, things to be the way they were in the 80s. They actually want things a lot different where they can control people now. And the way to control them is to not let them have free will, or maybe to enjoy things, is, like to be free. So, and again, sorry guys, if that's a little bit off what you're talking about, but we are talking about Hollywood. So sometimes I wonder about that.
I think there's a lot to that. And I think there's also a lot to the vast majority going, nope, not going to be a part of that. Nope. Not going to help feed the beast. I know I don't get excited about going to the movie theater really anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
But I was that way before lockdown and COVID and all that baloney.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It was just like,
it started about 10 years ago, didn't it? I'd say about maybe 10 years ago it started.
Yeah. I mean, it took a really, really, really good film to be. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, what Marvel and Disney have done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like phases 1, 2, 3, when it ended with Endgame, I thought was absolutely brilliant. It really was. I mean, you had 22 movies, all being made individually, but the storyline was practically all the same all the way through.
For that bigger,
and it culminated in that Endgame, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I think what they've done now, I don't know. I'm not liking it. I mean,
it doesn't hook me.
No. I mean, I watched the films, but I mean,
yeah.
Is it the same as what it was when it was like phase 1, 2, and 3? No, I don't think it is. Is there a reason for that? Yes, there is, but I don't want to get too political about it. But
there's too much. There's too much social agenda in them, and it's just ruining everything. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that, and then they shove it in your face and go, "This is your character that you have to like," and it's just not. It's not like it was, right?
That's why I still haven't seen Snake Eyes. I still haven't seen that movie because I'm like,
you see,
that's
another one.
Another one.
You've got all these brilliant foundations that were laid in the 80s with these TV series, these animated cartoons, the toys and the action figures, all that sort of stuff. So for me, when they originally did the G.I. Joe movies, they should have looked back into some of the Larry Hama stuff, some of the comic stuff that they did, some of the cartoons.
Fertile ground in those comics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the foundation there, and then they go, by all means, make it. I don't know, like, do you need it? I mean, it could be set in the 80s. That's not an issue. But and film it like you would do like a modern day film, but have it set in the time period that it was set. Transformers, another one. The best movie that they've done for Transformers so far, for me, is Bumblebee, because it was set in the 80s, and that's when the Transformers were.
Yeah.
Why? I just that is one thing that really bugs me, and I just want to. It's interesting to find out other people's.
I think most people don't like it.
What artists they have to change it to modern audience, which takes the feelings attractive. Well, then they shouldn't make it. Then,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If they're going to make it and change it, don't make it.
Right.
Come up with something new. This is the thing. This is what I'm saying. They're peeing all over our franchise. Well, not our franchises, but our childhood memories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of questions.
Hey, Weird Fantastic.
Where's Weird Fantastic? Oh, I'll get back here. Where?
313.
There we go. Hello, there you are.
What's up?
Oh, thank you, Trenton. Thank you. Humble Collector asked if any of you guys have got any, is it Holy Grails?
Oh. Go, Dave, go.
I'm pretty sure Pete has like a whole bunch, and so do I, and so does Stu. But yeah, well, I already have a flag like Pete does, and I already have a couple Terradromes, and we got lots of Joe stuff because that's what we like mostly. So, but for me, the one that's my holy grail that I still need to get is that Cobra cardboard 1982 base that comes with the 3 figures, the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, and it's a little bit of money, but eventually one day it's going to be down in the pit.
Nice,
I think.
That's awesome. So that was a. Did they offer that in or did they offer it in Canada back in the day? Here it was a Sears.
Yes, it was in the Sears catalog, and I was going to get it. I remember, this is crazy. I can remember this, but I'm stupid that way. I can remember all that stuff.
You can. It's awesome.
But anyway, I remember looking at that book, and it was in there, and I was like, "What about this, Dad?" And then he looked at the advertisement, and you could see that it was cardboard. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, Dave. It looks kind of cheap. Like it's It's $29.99.
Yeah, it's not going to hold up.
It's not going to hold up,
Hmm.
and now it's like $2,000, not $29.99. So,
Right.
but anyway,
so
yeah.
many didn't survive.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's my Grail piece. And like I said, having the flag, having the Defiant, having the Terradromes, those would definitely be on my list if I didn't have them. But we've been collecting for years. So for me to sit here and say, oh, I have this and that. Yeah, sure. Fine. But I've been doing that. I've been collecting for like 15 years. So it's not like, you know, I'm able to just buy stuff. Like I'm not rich, but anyway, yeah, that would be the next one for me, a Grail piece.
Pete?
Grail wise, I'm gonna have to go with Action Force. So so many. I mean, even like little figures like Destro there, you know, that was a holy grail that you're like, hold on, I think I know where one is. And I'm like, what? Huh? Oh. Gosh, the Palatoy Death Star, the cardboard cardboard, the cardboard Death Star. I would love to find one of those. I would love a Robo Skull. I'm a backer of the modern Robo Skull, but I dearly would love to have a vintage one. So that remains a big grail out there flying around, and it's Scully awesomeness.
Awesome. That Robo Skull, that can fit. Is that for 3 3/4 and 6 inch? So you can.
Yeah, the new one, they've got it where you can switch out.
How cool is that? See, that is so.
Yeah, that was pretty cool trick to say, hold on, let's make this. And it's quite massive. I mean,
is it big? Is it?
Yeah, Dragon Reborn in Ireland, they did a photo shoot with Patty, and they had it on the flag deck, and it's like a third easy of the flag deck. It's like wow.
TJC said maybe you could get one in Leicester. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, because I saw you got the little pack they sent out to you as a thank you for pre.
Yeah, the little Skeledrones. Yep,
Skeledrones.
As part of the backer kit.
Cool idea.
Yeah, they're neat.
So how many figures is that coming with? Do you get figures with it? No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking in his tank.
No, it's got some figures with it, and then you could add additional figures on if you wanted to. But it's got the pilot, and I think another. Why do I want to say it's one that actually is modeled to look like Bob Breakin, facially. I swear that's in there. I need to revisit my little backer package and just see what's in there. It's been long enough. I'm starting to get a little fuzzy on it. Not that, I mean, they've actually really good, just like Red 5 in their book, like keeping you abreast of how things are moving along. But
cool. Yeah, I was going to say my holy grail would be the Star Wars Droids A-Wing from the Kenner line.
Ooh,
so
lovely.
Yeah, very hard to come by. And very expensive, so
very expensive.
Wait a while. Mark did ask a question for you, Dave.C, and wondered if you've got any Rambo stuff in your collection.
I don't have any
Force of Freedom.
Yeah, Force of Freedom. I don't have any. I think I would like to get some because he's such a powerful character. Of course, to me, growing up, that was one of my, favorite, stories and. Yeah. So no, I don't. I wish I did. And I wish I had some of the old Indiana Jones. I know that you were showing me some of those the other day, Pete. And I really love Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's my favorite
the old
movie.
Kenner.
Mm-hmm.
Are you two going to get any of those?
Not the new ones, no.
I'm getting the Indy just to have.
Yeah.
But
like a standalone? A standalone would look cool,
Would be cool, but I would definitely want to find a vintage Kenner Indy. To go.
Yeah, who do you have? You got Marion, right? And the German guy, that Tote guy. Do you have the Tote?
I have Tote, who's original. I've got German uniform Indy.
Oh yeah,
that's original Kenner. I've got a mail away Belloc that I found like digging. Like it was buried in this little toy shop in Cincinnati under stuff. Like in the dark, and I'm like, hey, that's a mailer box. And I'm like, pull it out, and the gal's like, oh, yeah, I forgot that was in there. That's been in there for years. And I'm like, like Indiana Jones. I'm like, how much? And she says a price, and I'm like, oh, sold. I mean, it was a very, very good price. And I just want to add to that line. I've got Stan Solo's Marion.
Oh, yeah.
Both on card and loose that he did, which
cool.
Man, it is spot.
What were the play sets like for those? Like the 80s ones?
You've got the Well of Souls, which I have. And that's cool because it's got like a mummy and it comes with a bunch of different snakes. And then Matt Squatch does some custom snake package that you can get in like different colors, like green that wasn't, so you can tell them apart.
Yeah.
But it's got the Ark. I still need to get the Ark cover for it. It's a gray cover, and it's got R2 and C-3PO hidden in the scroll work that goes around. You got a little nod.
You can actually see that in the film, can't you? Have you noticed that in the film? Yeah.
Yep.
In the hieroglyphics.
Oh man!
I found that at Kokomo Toys up in above Indianapolis, and I got it with the box. The box is a little bit of a beater, but like the flaps are wonky, but the picture itself is in really nice shape. So I was happy. And then there's a map room, which I've got part of. I don't have all of the little accoutrements that go with that.
That's where they stick the staff there, right? The sun shines through.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got the staff and the little 3D scaled city, but I don't have map room Indy. I don't have his little notebook or the hook. I've got his pickaxe. So, but I found that loose for like $15. At Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, cool.
Ark with no cover. Yes. Don't look directly at it.
Don't look into it. Exactly. So what about the Dungeons and Dragons? Are you guys interested in any of the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, or are you
talking newer or vintage?
The new ones, the windowless boxes that seem to be breaking left, right, and center, because there are quality issues with those as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's scaring the hell out of me. I originally thought about grabbing those, and then the fact that they were windowless, I was like, why am I getting these? Because I'm getting a lot of the old advanced Dungeons and Dragons figures.
Okay.
I love those. So I'm like, wait, why am I spending? Because those were not super cheap figures. I'm like, why am I paying that for modern when vintage is what plucks my heartstrings? And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to look for more of those figures. And they pop up all the time, which is great. Some of them are just like really cheap PVC figures, no articulation.
Well, Zero Hunter Toys, he's just reviewed that the Warlock, hasn't he? I mean, it's NECA, but it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've got to say, if I was going to get a Dungeons and Dragons figure, it would be that one over the
Hasbro cartoon,
the Hasbro animated.
And I love the animated cartoon. That was always cool. We didn't miss an episode of that.
He had the little 3 3/4 inch figure as well of the Warlock, and I remember having that one as a kid, and I thought he was pretty cool then. But to have a more detailed 6-inch version, I think he does look pretty cool. When I'm sort of on the fence, umming and ahhing, do I or don't I get that? So we shall see. The price of vintage versus modern are way too close. Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they are. You might as well buy vintage if you're going to pay that amount of money.
Yeah, that gap is.
Yeah, well, but it's ridiculous.
But yeah, seeing those unboxings of the D&D figures, like Super Awesome Geek Show John did, that scared the living hell out of me. I'm like, yep, I'm glad I didn't.
Because Man Fandango, he's got them as well, but he's not opened his yet, has he?
Not yet. And he and Shabby were talking earlier today, and it was like, you gonna open yours? You gonna open yours? You open yours? No, you open yours.
Unbelievable.
And I'm like, are you sure?
No, go on. Sorry.
I was like, are you sure that those figures are even in there? I mean, it might be like a pack of gum or an old banana.
Exactly. Don't mind. Unbelievable. I think that's a big mistake. They've made a big mistake with that.
Oh, so dumb.
Plastic free. It really is. I mean, that's not that's probably contributed to why because people aren't buying. The cost of the figures these days, especially the Black Series, and the fact that a lot of inbox collectors don't want them because you cannot see the figure. I mean,
let alone you're getting a like Laser Pants or Ryan or somebody that takes them out loose, and wants to enjoy them, and you get that figure home from Target or Walmart and you open it. Is it going to be in there or not? Some people are like, oh, for crying out loud, somebody's been savvy enough to do the old switcheroo and put some junk figure in there. And sometimes you're lucky, and yes, it is what it's supposed to be in there.
I can't believe people do that. Like, people are so stupid.
Oh,
but then
like that.
I mean, that's one phase of evil. Then you've got just like Hasbro's QC evilness of like a bad paint deco, and you don't know till you open it up, and you're like, what? You messed that up. It's got overspray. It looks like crap.
I mean, who was it as well? It was Geekstrong again that went to get the Lego set, didn't he?
Yep.
Was it the Home Alone set?
Yeah, and it had like 3 number 5 bags. Like somebody had,
it's like you say, Dave. You can't believe people that actually do that this day and age. But it's,
I know, dirt bags.
Like it was, but I mean, we don't get it so much over in the UK. But I went to Smith's and I was going to get the a second version of the Tantive 4 Corridor. And I thought, oh, that's on like a decent price. It's reduced, so I get it. So I took it, and I noticed the box had been slightly open. So I was just about to pay for it, and then I said to the till, I said, "Can you just check inside to make sure the figure's in there?" And they, yeah. And they opened it up, and there's no figure in there. I said, no, I don't want it.
Yeah, nope,
don't want it.
Ugh.
So, but people what can you say? That's the world we live in, isn't it? So, but there you are. So, Pete, you were going to show us some pickups that you got.
I got some good pickups the last 2 weeks.
Pickups.
Very
okay,
Joe
pickups. Dave, this is going to be Pete on the big screen. So here you go. Look at that. Awesome.
All right. Steel Brigade. This is the D version. So he wasn't horribly expensive. No patch or the little letter with it, but I didn't have a Steely, so it was nice to pick up.
Awesome.
And then a Secto Viper who drives the Cobra Bug. And awesome. I did have this figure, but he was not complete. He didn't have his gumball helmet there or his weapon. So now I have one complete. And I've got another one that I may play a little head swap and put somebody else in there. And then the big find was earlier this week. Oh,
wow.
That is a Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. Trying to let me adjust this.
So when you say Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, what do you mean by Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander?
So the logo, gosh.
Okay.
I'm trying. I'm sorry. The Cobra logo, man, that's just not gonna behave. So the Cobra logo, it's one of the early releases. This is a straight arm, and just the top of the Cobra logo, it looks like mouse ears.
Oh, okay.
And it's before they changed it to the more modern Cobra logo that we know. But I did not have one, so that was cool to get. And then, to get the Sky Striker, maybe that shows up a little bit better. There we go. You can just kind of make out the mouse ears. So they recreated it, for that one. So that's a cool nod. And that was also, it came with the Sears play set. But also, Dave, maybe you can attest to this. I was reading some other sources where if you mailed in for Cobra Commander, some people got Mickey Mouse Cobra Commanders. They kind of just pot shot, luck of the draw. So
they did.
Very cool. And his arm holding his lasers a little wonky. But again, the price was right on him, and I could not pass him up. Jeff Barker he was like, "Oh wow, that was
Awesome.
a great find." And then I got the Ninja Viper,
Quality.
which some came with weapons, some did not. So it was Jinx's swords, 2 of the long swords, but colored in different plastic. But some came with no weapons whatsoever. But that is another kind of hard to find, rarely seen, except when you go to like Joe Fest, aka Valicon. And Jeff and I were seeing baggy with the file card Ninja Vipers, and it's like one guy had 5 or 6 of them. It seemed like every couple booths you would just see somebody, and they would have just a ton of them, and they wanted $300-400 easy for them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like him that much, but Loose, I love him. I love him Loose.
Yeah,
awesome. Now, we've got a question for you, Pete. Got a question for you.
Uh-oh. Does Scuba Pete have a YouTube channel? I have the other 2. Well, Humble Collector, you can find me. I share a channel. It's Chasing 80s Toys. And maybe Stu could put the link in the old Shatteroo. Yep. But Chasing 80s Toys with Jeff Barker and Chris Miwa. So we share that channel together and have a right old time doing I do lots of toy hunts. Jeff does some deep dives on this and that in his collection. He has a huge G.I. Joe and Star Wars collection. It's quite impressive. But even more impressive is the rarely seen his graded comic collection. Jeff's got a storehouse of awesome comics.
There you go, Humble Collector. This is where you find these guys. Fantastic channel. Fantastic guys.
And then Chris is in the Netherlands, and he does lots of cosplay. Also, some toy hunts and toy unboxings. Big Motu collector like I am as well. So just awesome.
Awesome stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got it.
Just catch up.
Such a hard one to get, like so to be able to find it at a good price is really cool.
It really is.
Cool.
I saw it, last week, 2 weeks ago, and then it kind of was eating at me like,
yeah,
you need to go back. You need to go back.
I'd be the same. I'd be like,
and
I can't sleep. I have to.
I gotta go back.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And you're right about the mail away thing. It did. Sometimes it was in the bag. Like when you sent away, you might get a Mickey Mouse one or not. And I do remember my friends getting some and thinking that's a weird logo.
Yeah, because it really is. When you see it in hand, you're like, huh. From the big fleshed out Cobra that we all know. Just a neat. And I'm going to put him in a little. I've got like a 2-pack acrylic case that I got from Ian's Displays, aka like with the GW acrylic. Little for loose figures, and so I'm going to put Cobra Commander in my Ninja Viper.
Do you have cases for yours, Dave? The ones that you keep on card. Do you keep yours in acrylic cases, or do you use the other type?
Well, I have one over here in the acrylic. Okay, that's my stalker. The 82 straight arm. That's of course everyone knows my favorite. And so I have him. I have Baroness 84. I think I have about maybe 7 or 8 in acrylics, but they're all originals on cards. And but I don't have any of the I don't have any of the special small ones that hold the weapon in the file card like Pete's talking about.
Okay.
Still your carded collection. Oh my gosh. It's just a I remember Children's Palace being stocked with those cards, right? And you get you got the dreaded you can pick one. And you're like, oh, but just,
how do I do this? I know.
To see that still, I mean, it instantly takes you right back, and you're little again, looking at that giant wall of choices.
Okay, here's one for you then. If you could go back to any point in time with your childhood, where would you go back to?
I think 1985.
Yeah.
Because you got the flag. And and this is interesting, maybe to some people, not because of value necessarily, but because 85 was the golden year, Joe, so you had like
yeah.
I said, you had the flag and so many different awesome Joe characters like Snake Eyes with Timber and all those. So I think that would be the ultimate for G.I. Joe going back and getting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I've got to agree. I would say 85, 86, where
Tear
all
Dome.
that is available. Kenner Star Wars, you're seeing, everything, it's on a Jedi card back, but you've got all those figures that you could snag up.
I mean, you could go to the movies and see Back to the Future. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
yeah. What was the name of the Ninja G.I. Joe?
Storm Shadow.
Yeah, you talking about the one you have duplicates of? Storm Shadow.
No, what? No, no need for that. No need for that. No, was it so that green one that you showed with Cobra Commander?
Oh,
was
yeah.
that
Ninja Viper.
Ninja Viper?
Mm-hmm.
And
but basically a repaint.
Joe,
he's a repaint of Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, I can paint him green.
You could.
Yeah,
which would be a really cool custom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see my customs. Jesus Christ, I couldn't even put a moccasin back together again. Then about 87, 88 for me, because that's when we got the 86 figure in the UK. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Ninja Viper.
Ninja Viper. Awesome. They've just done that in classified as well, haven't they?
They've come out with a couple different ninjas.
Couple different ones, haven't they?
I think Super 7 didn't Super 7 do red ninjas? I think Super 7, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's what, again, back to our, we're looping back. It's like, do that in O-ring, please, and I will buy it.
Yeah.
You do it in Super 7, and I just laugh at it on a peg in Target. I'm like, no.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Well, we've been coming up to just over an hour and a half, so I think that
flew.
It did go by. It did go by. So I think that's probably we'll call it a day there. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody in the chat for joining. It's been great seeing you in there. Thank you so much. Awesome stuff. Oh, hang on a minute. What's this? Yes, you custom ideas for duplicates. What can we do? Yoda, so unbelievable.
Brown Snake Yoda.
Yeah.
Green Snake Yoda.
Yeah. So with that, we are definitely going to be calling it a day. Yeah. So Dave.C, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, mate, because we
real blast, dude.
Spoken properly for the longest time.
Thanks, guys.
No, thank you for joining us, Pete. Always a pleasure.
Right back at you,
so
sir.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be back next month at some point. So just want to say thank you very much for watching, guys and girls. Stay safe, take care, and we shall see you in the next video. And
thanks,
bye
chat.
for now.
Good to see y'all.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dave.
No problem.